hurt my finger. Oh,
Melissa.
I got it.
Oh, that is never how you want to start your day. Lifting some heavy filing cabinets for accounting. So now that that's done, we're in the truck. We're on our way to corporate headquarters for Master's Choice in Anna, Illinois. We're going to be filming a pretty cool Q&A session with our president, LYN CRABTREE, also my dad.
Yeah, we sourced a bunch of the questions from our Instagram story that we put out, asking some of our Instagram followers and Facebook followers for some questions for Master's Choice, and so we pulled them together and we're going to ask them to Mr. CRABTREE. So we are pulling into HQ here in the next few minutes. Going to get the camera set up and make this thing happen.
Dwight, say hello.
Say hello, Dwight. No? There he is.
Yeah.
I'm only one step.
There he is.
Whoa!
The man, the myth.
Well, you come in here and tore up my conference room, man. I mean, what's
We
going
gotta
on
get you
here?
mic'd up, man. You're famous.
Right there.
I think we should be good to go. Let me check the mic and we'll
That's simple, huh?
start it. Have a seat. Let me check the cameras real quick.
Okay. I can say stupid stuff and you can edit it, right? We're not recording this, are we?
No.
This is all just prep, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Dennis, this question is probably the most frequently asked question that I get anywhere I go around the world. I guess that's because everybody else does, everybody else has. Paul and I have had the opportunity to sell the business, and honestly had no interest in that whatsoever. The reason that we don't is that we believe that God has blessed us with this company for a purpose, to be able to use it as a platform to honor Him. We're very fulfilled in what we do. We work with our best friends. We work with the greatest people, not just in this country, but all around the world, internationally. We have the opportunity to work with our boys in this business, and we travel together. My desk is next to my wife's, and we spend all of our time together and love it. So why would we want to give that up? I mean, we have a purpose in the morning when we get up. We enjoy our day to the max, and at the end of the day, we feel fulfilled. So what better thing is there than that? So Dennis, we have no intention of selling this business. Ernest, good question. Do we have our own genetics? Yes, we do have our own genetics. It's the thing that drew Paula and us to Master's Choice in the beginning. As livestock nutritionists, we had the opportunity to work with clients that had been planting Master's Choice. It fed differently. It caused us to look at this corn from a unique standpoint. In addition to that, Ernest, I'd tell you that we develop from our own in-house research new inbred materials every year, sometimes many. New inbreds each year are added to that portfolio, which increases and multiplies many times over the opportunities that we have to strike a new and exciting new cross. And then lastly, we work with other plant breeders around the country, around the world, in fact, to be able to develop corn hybrids that have unique features that we're looking for. So absolutely yes, we have our own genetics, and it's been the basis for my excitement in this business from day one. Steve, Josh, that's a good question. We've got a lot of research in the last few years comparing starch digestibility. Folks that are looking at and recognizing the importance of multiple time points, 0 hour, 3 hour, 7 hour starch digestibility tests. And so research looking at the differences in terms of digestibility of the grain are there, and some of them very incredible. When you're looking at differences in digestibility, we can see differences of up to 50% in a ruminant dairy cow between the hard, heavy grain that is falling through the rumen mat, not staying in digestion as long, and not digesting as much per hour as some of the more lighter flowery grain that tends to hang up in the rumen mat. Another thing that I might say here that that you might draw a little bit of interest from is an old study, one that was done in 2005 and then turned around and completed again in 2006 to duplicate the results, was done by Dr. Mike Allen at Michigan State, where Dr. Allen was looking at passage rate from flowery grain to the harder, more vitreous grain. So Steve, Josh, look that one up. It's really cool, where he's looking at high moisture corn compared to flowery high moisture compared to a very hard vitreous high moisture corn. That corn stayed in the rumen twice as long. The flowery corn stayed in the rumen twice as long, so it had much more opportunity to get digested in the rumen by the cow. Interestingly enough, that when he used dry grain, both in the trials in 2005 and 2006, the time in the rumen was shorter for the dry corn, but for the dry flowery corn, it was twice as long in the rumen as it was for the hard, more vitreous dry corn that he used in the trial. So really interesting, both in terms of digestibility and time in the rumen for passage rate. A lot of studies have been completed and are chronicled in the Journal of Dairy Science. Good question. Lance, when we're comparing Master's Choice and the flowery grain and the high sugar, high brix plants that Master's Choice has always been known for to BMR, this is something that we've done a lot of marketing materials based off of. It's a question that's been asked a lot, and because we're so nutritionally enhanced and because BMR is nutritionally enhanced, there's a natural comparison there. On the surface, brown midrib corn silage has got a slightly raised fiber digestibility over a normal standard Master's Choice variety. Master's Choice has got a very distinct advantage in terms of grain digestibility. The starch digestibility of a Master's Choice flowery grain hybrid is significantly higher than that of a BMR corn, which is very typically some of the hardest grain in the industry. So you got a little bit of a trade-off with brown midrib and Master's Choice, in as much as you got a little more fiber digestibility with brown midrib, you've got a lot more starch digestibility with the Master's Choice. So then you begin to look at other things. Master's Choice, because of the sugar content that is high, makes that unique fiber digestibility similar to the brown midrib, so we're not giving away much there. Then you compare agronomics. Brown midrib has always been known to be agronomically challenged. Sometimes it has trouble standing up because of the weakness of the fiber structure. It has had a lot of yield drag that has been typical over the years. Not true with Master's Choice. One of the most complex questions and roadblocks that we've had to answer as a company has been that yes, we are nutritionally enhanced, yes, we do feed better, and no, we don't give up yield, and no, we don't give up agronomics. We will yield and stand and be as disease tolerant as the other best hybrids in the marketplace today. So that's some of the fair comparisons that we have with brown midrib. I really like the trade-off at the end of the day where we're looking at maximizing milk or meat per acre. I think that's where we stand out, is in our ability to create the most for the least for you on the farm. Thanks, Lance. Good question.
Go for it.
Hey folks, thanks for submitting your questions. This has been a lot of fun for me, and I really appreciate it. Hopefully this is the first of many more of these to come, and looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.